M. Khan here for Seconds Out with the voice of Queensbury, Dev Sahni. The voice of Queensbury, we're going with it with this year. Why not? New year, new you, new name as well too, Dev. How you doing, sir?
I'm okay, but we have to resist this calling me voice of Queensbury. I'm just going to get in trouble, and then I'll probably won't have a voice anymore. So let's just go with Dev, shall we? Let's go with the hype man, actually. Get in there nice and early.
There you go, doing the plugs as well too. We're going to be plugging this card as well at the weekend, headlined by Hamzah Sheeraz in what's billed as a test against Liam Williams. We'll see if it is, but do you feel it is heading into the fight?
Most definitely. Have you been seeing the stuff that Liam Williams has been putting up on Instagram? I'm on there checking the dates. I'm like, is this from like 3 years ago when he was knocking everyone out? No, it's actually from this camp. He looks like an absolute animal. He looks like the guy that did used to tear through the middleweight division domestically on the European level, getting his way to mandatory and becoming a mandatory challenger. He looks like that guy. If it is that guy, it's a genuine test. If it's not, if he's perhaps a little bit shop-worn, perhaps a little bit over the hill, at 31, by the way, it would be very early for a fighter to be shop-worn, then Hamza should come through. But I think it's a real challenge.
How far away do you feel Hamza is from that world scene? Do you feel like this is the true barometer before having that fight against a fighter who's been in and around that mix, as Liam Williams has been?
I think so. I think, look, this will tell us everything, really. Up until now, he's looking, at middleweight in particular, he's looking unreal. He's looking too good to be true. He's ticking all the boxes, knocking people out within 2 rounds. If he knocks Liam Williams out in 2 rounds, he has to fight for a world title very, very soon, I'd imagine this year. Making a statement against Liam Williams is saying, okay, all right, Chris Eubank, I know you're not a world champion, but you couldn't do that. And it's sending out a big message to everyone, every middleweight watching. He can look at Liam Smith and say, all right, do you fancy a bit of this? Look what I just did to your old mate Liam Williams over here. It sends out a big message. And I think this division is crying out for someone to come and get a hold of it, become a star. It's always been a blue ribbon division in boxing, a marquee division. And right now, you can't conclusively say it has a star. It's kind of got an inactive Jamal Charlo. There's Janibek, who's got belts as well. And then it's kind of like, who else is there? Hamza Sheeraz could be the guy.
Going through the rest of the card, a lot of good names, a lot of good fights as well too, has to be said there. Yarde is the pick of the bunch for me in terms of those names. Almost like a precursor, as is Yarde's career. He has a bit of a fight that's a bit more low-key, then into a big one, maybe into the Matchroom Queensbury versus Matchroom 5v5, but Yarde can't afford any slip-ups with the light heavyweight division moving as it is.
This is it. Look, he can't afford to slip up. We're not expecting him to slip up. It's no idiot that he's in with, though. This is a guy who's got an amateur win over an Olympic gold medalist, but you'd still expect Anthony Yarde to come through, pound his chest and say, I'm ready for a big 2024. The 5v5, that sounds great. Do you know what sounds great to me as well? Joshua Buatsi. Buatsi has said he's up for a bit of Anthony Yarde. Anthony Yarde has said he's up for a bit of Joshua Buatsi. The fans have said for many years they're up for this fight. So maybe it's that. I hope so.
Any of the fighters or fights on the undercard that take your fancy?
Yeah, I think it's a big test for Masood Abdullah. He's unbeaten, 9-0, 6 knockouts, and Kez Ashfaq, who he's taking on, Commonwealth silver title. Ashfaq is the losses that he's had, 2 losses. He feels like he won. Was an Olympian, much more amateur pedigree than Masood. So it's a genuine test. It's like, if Masood is able to stop him or do a real demolition job, that tells everyone what they need to know about Masood Abdullah, and we could have another star in the featherweight division.
Moving towards the widest sphere in boxing, the widest scene, a lot of kind of fallout from the Fury versus Usyk fallout of the second date, as it was. Now moving to the third date, May 18th. Tyson Fury seems to be taking a bit of a bashing online when he used to be the public's darling. He's kind of maybe falling off that mantle a little bit, do you feel?
What's new? He went over to Germany. He dethroned Vladimir Klitschko. Did he come back to a load of love? Not really. He's had this throughout his whole career. His relationship with the public has been ups and downs. And right now, yeah, they're saying whatever they're saying. But if he goes and beats Oleksandr Uysk, has all of those belts, I don't know, will some of them start giving him some credit, some love? Probably, but some of them won't. Some of them are just haters. So don't spend your life trying to please haters. Please yourself. Pick up those belts, and I'm sure he's fine. All these wild conspiracy theories out there as well, which you're probably going to ask me about. But it's just it boils down to something very, very simple that happens in boxing all the time. Fighter gets injured in preparation for a fight. Fighter withdraws from fight. Fight rescheduled. Pretty simple, isn't it? Happens all the time. So all these conspiracy theories and just buffoonery.
Look, I myself agree, and I take it for face value that the cut is a legitimate happening, sparring, and the account that's been given is the way it is. But there's a lot of discussion as to it being not legitimate or not happening at that time or whatever it may be. Just kind of your feeling to some of the public who are doubting Tyson's account, and do you think that's because sometimes Tyson comes out with sometimes one thing and sometimes the other thing is said? I think that's part of why people doubt Tyson's account.
I think that there are haters out there, and Tyson can do no right. Even if Tyson beats Oleksandr Uysk and becomes the first undisputed heavyweight champion of the four-belt era, the same people who are now doubting the credibility of the injury, they will be saying, do you know what? Usyk was a bit old. It wasn't the best Usyk. They'll be downplaying the win of Tyson Fury. If Tyson Fury then goes on to beat Anthony Joshua, these same people doubting his credibility now will be saying, yeah, but it wasn't the old AJ. Back in the day, AJ would have knocked him out. So, again, Tyson can do no right in some people's eyes. All he's got to do is keep doing what he's doing. Whatever he's doing has led to him being a multi-millionaire, led to him being the unbeaten lineal champion about to enter the fight of his life. He's just had to reschedule it because he got injured. It happens.
If I was in the Fury camp or aligned with Queensberry as you are, I would stand a little bit worried that my fighter is going in with that level of cut into an undisputed fight when you've got an accurate puncher on the end of it who knows how to find his target there. It's a weakness, just as Usyk has his own, but a glaring one that's been so publicised too. Do you stand worried going into that fight for Tyson because of what's happened here?
If Tyson's not worried, Frank's not worried, and Tyson's team aren't worried, I'm not worried.
Fair enough, can't say any clearer or fairer than that. But it seems like Tyson Fury's fights are mapped out when maybe once it wasn't clear. He's got the 2 Usyk fights. He's got the 2 fights with Anthony Joshua, which was once not on the table. And then Ngannou. What do you think of that path for Fury? It seems like it's all cleared up for him for 2024 and 2025.
Look, that's encouraging. That sounds like a Tyson Fury who's enjoying his boxing, right? He's enjoying this moment, this relationship with Saudi Arabia, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. It's brought a whole new life to not just the heavyweight division, but to boxing. Everyone's having a look at what's going on over there, and they want to get involved. So Tyson laying out all of these potential future fights is a great thing. I'd rather he was saying that than talking about maybe this is my last one. So see all of that as good news for the heavyweight division.
Now, maybe the injury might have been cast out by some people, but legitimate as it may feel by both of us. Carl Froch was questioning whether his heart is in the sport as maybe it once might have been before on Froch on fighting. For Carl to come out and with the achievements he had, it's his opinion can be respected, but do you feel there's merit to him saying that Tyson Fury's heart is in question when he's having these fights rescheduled?
I'm certainly not going to go after Carl Froch. I think he's doing a wonderful job on his YouTube channel and generating a ton of hits talking about the biggest star in world boxing and his dad. So let him crack on. I don't agree with the things that he's saying, but he's Carl Froch, so let him be Carl Froch. It's all generating headlines. It's all amplifying this fight and the whole build-up. So Froch is going to Froch. Let him crack on.
When it comes to calls out and cracking on, Daniel Dubois is punching the punch bag and he's calling out Filip Hrgović.
Come on, he wants to fight him. Everything I'm hearing is he wants to fight Filip Hrgović. And when I heard that, I was like, really? He actually wants to fight this unbeaten guy? Great. He referred to himself as the daddy again. This seems to be a new, reinvigorated father figure of the heavyweight division now in Daniel Dubois. So I'm enjoying it. He looks like he's loving it. Looks like he's loving life. He's a man now. He's not a shy little boy. This is a guy who stood up to Big Baby Miller at a press conference, more than stood up to him in the ring, and fancies it with Filip Hrgović. It's a fight that does make sense. Hrgović is number 1 with the IBF. The number 2 is vacant. Number 3 and 4 are involved in fights. That's Parker fighting Zhang. Joshua's fighting Ngannou. Number 5 is Daniel Dubois. So if Filip Hrgović fancies it, I'm sure Daniel Dubois will oblige him.
Now we touched on the 5 versus 5. Outside of the Yarde Buatsi fight, what fight is one that you'd really want to see? If you could paper one down, what would it be?
I want to see Nick Ball become a world champion and defend it against whoever, Lee Wood, Josh Warrington, something like that. That would be one that stands out to me. I think we've got a potential superstar in Nick Ball, and when he gets big opportunities, he tends to take them. And he's a hell of a fighter. So him against, I think he beats all of their featherweights. With respect to them, I think they've got great featherweights that are now sort of over 30, and Nick Ball's 26 years old. He's very much on the come up, and he looks like a real handful.
In the interviews I've done with Eddie, he's alluded to there being a transfer window, the potential of signings. I just wonder, being a man on the ground at Queensby, have you heard any whispers of any signings potentially? Have you had anything whispered into your ear?
I haven't been told anything like that. If they tell me they know, I'll probably slip up in an interview, so they don't tell me nothing like that. So it all sounds very interesting.
Very interesting indeed in this press conference. Say it again. Very interesting indeed in this press conference. Una's just put me off a little bit there. It's about to get started. Very interesting indeed.
Dark and handsome, puts everyone off. Un Abbas Hussein works for everyone. Has he done Seconds Out?
Of course he has. Yeah.
Seconds Out is PBF at the moment. Any pro boxing fans behind the gloves, fight hype. This guy, man. This guy. I'll see you.
Very much worth a shout out indeed. Dev, pleasure speaking to you. Thanks for being Seconds Out, sir. All the best for the press conference.
Yeah, and also you talked about other fights. Sam Noakes, by the way. Sam Noakes against Lewis Sylvester. Unbeaten versus unbeaten. 12-0 with 12 knockouts against 13-0. Someone's always got to go. British lightweight title on the line. Absolute banger. Can't wait for that. And you should go and interview Francis about it.
Looking forward to it.